was a few people injured when a horse went through the crowd, and that wasn't the only problem they had there. The jockeys wouldn't ride with only one ambulance on the track. There was plenty more things that went wrong, including the race caller becoming ill. But John Bourke stepped in and filled in for Brian Markovic until Greg could arrive, and John Bourke joins me on the Racing Radio Morning. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Greg. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. A bit of a madcap day yesterday at Pakenham.
Well, it was a day I'll never forget, and I don't think it's a day the Pakenham Racing Club will forget, because it was the reopening of their track yesterday.
It was a long-awaited reopening, some 2 years.
Yes, I was at their previous meeting. It was a Saturday meeting, early May 2000, and the pipes and whatnot hadn't been worked on for over 75 years, so they went back yesterday with a brand new track, and well, everything started off well. They had a great day weather-wise, but things didn't go well by the end of the day.
No, well, the first thing that happened was the horse going through the fence.
Yeah, a horse called Zaka Jayawa. It ran fifth, trained by Judy Moore down at Cranbourne. Judy was a former jockey herself, and it ran fifth, so weighed in, and then tried to take on the fence between the enclosure and the members' enclosure, got over the fence, and of course, being the first day back, there was a very big crowd there, and well, a mate of mine, Tim Meager, who's a builder, he was very close to the action, and he pushed two girls aside so the horse could get past, but it did trample one young girl, who I believe is in hospital at Dandenong here in Melbourne, and went through the betting ring. And of course, being a crowded day in Pakenham, not a very big track, and it's a very tightly knit area, the betting ring. And then Howard got through the members' gate, which was incredible because it's just a very small gate, and then swung a sharp left and headed back towards the stabling area.
So a few people were taken to hospital. Then the jockeys said they wouldn't ride, so a further delay.
Yeah, further delay. They said they wouldn't ride with only just one ambulance, which is fair enough. So the fourth race, which was set down for 1:40, went to 2:15. In fact, I think that was a little bit later. And in that time, Brian Markovic from Sport 927 got in contact with me. He wasn't feeling the best of health. He was suffering from some dizziness, and he said, look, he said, I don't think I can go on. He said, can you do it? And I've done a few picnic meetings in Victoria. I said, well, I'll give it a go. So I took over the mantle for races 4, 5 and 6 till Greg Miles from Sky Channel arrived.
How did you feel?
Well, the butterflies were pretty turned up for race 4 because we didn't have that long to sort of swat up on the colours, but after that I'd settled in fairly well.
And how did you find the new track out there?
Well, it looks magnificent by reports from all the jockeys and trainers, and they're the ones that count. They're very impressed. Pakenham's a tight little track, but they've cambered the turns now, and by all reports, come the warmer weather times, they think they'll break a lot of records there.
How did you feel you went yesterday?
Well, as I said, I was happy with as I said, the first one, race 4, was well, I got through them, but race 5 and race 6 I was very happy with.
And what about, do you know of anything like this happening before?
No, well, not really. The only story I can go back to the records of race callers were the father and son team of Maury Kirby and Wayne Kirby. I think it was back in the late 60s. Wayne's father, Maury, took a heart attack or something while calling an Inter-Dominion final at the Royal Melbourne Showgrounds. And it was a case of, don't worry, Dad, I'll take over. So there's been a lot of queries over the years regarding that call, but it was well before my time.
Well, John, great job yesterday, and I thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, Greg. All the best.
John Bourke, he filled in yesterday, did a great job too. when Brian Markovic became ill. And, well, they had a big day there at Pakenham, and probably not for all of the right reasons, but great to see them racing back there. It's now 12 o'clock. That just about takes me out from the Racing Radio Morning. Les Mead's going to jump into the chair and take you through the national...
Pakenham at Pakenham after the running, or for the running of race 4, Brian Markovic unable to call the balance of the meeting. He is taken ill, and consequently Brian Blackmore, who is stationed at the Bendigo track, is going to call the race. Now, we believe that race, we're on start time, but I'm not entirely sure that it'll go on time at this stage. Believe that they may go late. Pretty much there was an incident earlier in the piece where a horse cannoned into a couple of on-course patrons. Those people had to be conveyed to hospital. So it's really been a case of it all happening there at Pakenham today. Only on a Sunday, Matthew. Only on a Sunday.
Only on a Sunday for sure. It's quite bizarre, actually, this race caller situation. Very, very odd.
Well, they are just coming into the mounting yard now. We do have someone who is on track to at least advise us what's happening. That is important. John Bourke there is passing us information down the line, but the actual race call will be provided by Brian Blackmore at another racetrack.
We could actually do a medley here if you'd like, Fred.
Well, how about we take care of the update for Canterbury, Matt, race 4.
1L Senorita, 5:52.10.
Race there just about set to go, and as we said, Brian Blackmore will be attempting to call this race off the TV. In fact, he's unable to do that. Now, I believe Jack Bourke is calling on course for patrons at Pakenham. John Bourke.
Along the side there, Soviet Liaison is running third. Back then in the field, fourth would be Wicked Intention. On its outside of that was the Harrison trained Shenandoah. A length away then in the field to Venetian Blush. Back behind those runners was the John Rattle Royal Fra. Further back then in the field to Grand Dest of the Fence. Mick Price's horses Loves Here is running second last. And at the tail of the field is Just Precious. Along the back of the course now they run. And in front, it is Soviet Liaison in front. In second place in there is Straight No Chaser. Back behind that, running third, is Far Line. Amongst that group of horses here, out very deep on the track, is Royal Fra. As they come along the side down, make their way towards the home turn. And no change, or yes, there is, I should say, as Far Line now goes to the lead. But John Leake runner in front on the fence. In second place is Straight Chaser. It's... still the Far Line in front, being tackled now. Down the outside is Shenandoah, and also the Mick Price horse, Loves Here. Loves Here running on very strongly, and Loves Here will get up to score. Far Line second, Shenandoah third. Out deep on the track was Stand Clear. Back behind those runners was the John Rattle trained runner. Also there was Straight No Chaser. Back behind it was Just Precious. Also there was Dazzling Vintage. Ahead of it was Grand Desta. 2 away then in the field to Wicked Intentions, and the last couple pulling up now was Lotless Run, and Elo was at the tail.
I believe that was John Bourke, who's been seconded by the on-track people to call on course, and Loves Here to pay $3.70 and $2.10. It's a photo, all other placings there. About to move up at Hamilton. At Sunshine Coast, we'll bring you an update there. 1 Frameworthy 432.40, 2 Stefama 4 and 133, D'Aquila 281.90. 4 Bourke will call this race at Pakenham, and then Greg Miles will be making his arrival on track to call the balance of the card. That is the information we have received, and Pakenham they are at the start. The update for Canterbury, 1 Breckenrose, $1.50 and $1.10. 2 Nordic Flight is at $9.40 and 2. KY and the National Racing Service. We're a minute off a start there. We'll take a break.
Unbeatable demo deal.
For the running of the 5th race, there are 4 left to move in, and as we pointed out, John Bourke calling this race before the arrival of Greg Miles, who's probably arriving a bit like the cavalry. At 3 o'clock, we head back to Hamilton for their next race. We might take the update there before we go to John.
Number 1 is Tilly Trotter, 6.80 and 2. Joyce's Choice, 7 and 150. Coogee Creek, 29 and 18. My Boy Sam, 3.70, 250. Allaward Candy, 24 and 7. Sister Claire, 14 and 4. 7 a late scratching. 8 Cassie's Miss Favourite, 2.80 and $1. And 9 come to attention, 8.90 and 8 take out 10. Hamilton, race number 6. Selections there. 826.
3.5 by 1, 142.23 Launceston.
All right, Brian, they're just about moving up now. Sovereign Swamp, the last one to come in. Over 1,300 metres, and they all seem set. Starter on the platform. All clear given from behind, and away they go. Jumped in a good line, like a Waratah. The Tory Gold were very quick to begin. Also up there handy is Curry, and then Sovereign Swamp is caught out very deep. The Tory Gold going back. Back behind those is Red Prince on the fence. Back then in the field to Psycho Kelly. Further afield there is As She Does from Jughead Jed. And at the tail of the field is Echo Long. Along the back of the course, they run now, and Sovereign Swamp is in front by about a length. In second place is Davlaman. Back then on its outside is Plexus third. Back fourth there, Curry. Also there was the top weight like a Waratah. Vittori Gold further back. Windy Hero up along the rails, about 2 away then to As She Does. And back behind that is Red Prince and Echo Along. And also about third last Jughead Jed. Along the side now at the 400 metre mark they come. And out in front at Sovereign Swamp on the fence, narrowly from Curry, who now goes up to it. And Curry straightens up with Sovereign Swamp. And back then on the fence is Davlaman and like a Waratah fighting on late. But down towards 100, and it's Curry in front, and Curry draws clear, and Curry down to the line, gets up to win, like a Waratah second from Sovereign Swamp. Jughead Jet has made good ground, so too Red Prince. Back behind those out deep, Echo Long ran on, then Vittori Gold, back behind that Davlaman. Also amongst that group, As She Does, who was always well back, Plexus, and at the tail of the field was Psycho Kelly.
10 Curie, the winner, at $11.80 on Tab Limited. $11.80 for the win, and for the place is going to pay $3.50. One like a Waratah, $1.37. Sovereign Swamp at $5.50. And well done again to Johnny Bourke. And of course, as we pointed out, Greg Miles making his way to the Pakenham track to call a few of the later races. Now, Canterbury's not far away. You've had the Hamilton up.
$1,000 off a Santa Fe, $5,000 off a Terracan. Trust Sinclair Hyundai, only in Penrith opposite Jamison Park, but be quick.
All right, we're going to join John Bourke, who's still behind the binoculars of the microphone for this Pakenham race. And this is the 6th. Here he is.
Thank you, Brian. Starter Corey Melian on the platform. I Rock My World is out of line, being led around. The lights go on. I Rock My World walks up, so I suspect it's the last, and they all seem set. The lights are on, the starter on his platform. Set. Race 6. 1,400 metres to journey. Racing. Jumped in a good line, I Rock My World, and also Rancho Spark began very quickly from the outside. Costa's Delight goes up to take on the lead, and now leads. It's Costa's Delight and Rancho Spark together. Rancho Spark heads it off at that stage from Costa's Delight. Back then to Litmus from I Rock My World, King Salieri. Also there was Atomic Man racing off the fence, about 3 off. Back then in the field to Lure Destina filming. Then Skinjate from Skilling. 2 away then in the field to Lure Destina. Back behind it was Litmus, and at the tail of the field Rupert. Along the side of the course they run now, and it's in front Rancho Spark at the 600 metre mark. In second place in Corvain. Running third, I Rock My World. Back then in the field to Costa's Delight. On its outside is Atomic Man. Back behind it is Just Like Kelly. Further afield there as they come along the side towards the 400 metre mark was Rupert. Skinjate, just amongst that is Litmus, and at the tail Lure Destina. They straighten up now, 200 metres out, and Corvain and I Rock My World. And down the outside is Captain Clipper. Captain Clipper, I Rock My World, and I Rock My World in front, coming down towards the line, and back then on the field. But I Rock My World has got up to win. Second, Just Like Kelly. Captain Clipper's run third from Atomic Field. Rupert further back filming. King Salieri and Corvain amongst that group. Also there was Lure Destina. Back behind it was Just Like Kelly. Back then was Skinjate, and one of the last 2 in were Rancho Spark and Costa's Delight.
I Rock My World is going to return a dividend, big dividend of $28.30 and $6.80. Number 7, I Rock My World, will be the winner. Now, Launceston, we need margins and times on the previous. Canterbury comes up soon. Then we go back to Hamilton. This is the last of the Hamilton trots today.
480.